on the front. And the whole thing was so cringy, and you think, oh God, you know, are they really taking the piss here?
One man who knows the difference between a piss and pots you have to get off to piss in is PR guru Max Clifford.
I know of loads of marriages or relationships that are purely based on image and PR and the like. But I don't think theirs was one of them. I think if Madonna was looking for someone from a career point of view, she could have picked someone who was a much bigger name, much higher profile than Guy Ritchie.
Although, before taking his vows, Guy might have taken a warning from Madonna's habit of dating the very famous, very powerful and very cool.
The fact of the matter is that, yeah, these guys came into her life and they did serve a purpose, and after the purpose was over, she was finished with them and they were gone.
For instance, what first attracted her to satchel-faced movie legend Warren Beatty?
Warren, on many levels, was, I think, you know, he gave her sort of credibility in Hollywood, and she gave him credibility with young people.
And strange as it might seem, this bloke was a cool boyfriend once, when Vanilla was flavour of the month, for about a month.
She would wear different hats, man. She was a multiple character person. She knew how to wear that hat well. She had to wear a different hat with me, if you understand what I mean.
Okay, hats are good, but what about the relationship? Any clues for Guy?
Just two people hanging out, having a good time, having fun, good sex, you know, whatever. We didn't think much more beyond that, you know. There wasn't like talk about where we're going or what's going to go on. It was just, hey, let's hang out, let's have fun. It's cool.
It was fun hanging with Madge, but then her notorious sex book hit the shelves. Was it art? Was it porn? Either way, it showed grainy scenes of Madonna cavorting with various celebrities, including an unwitting Vanilla Ice.
They start rattling off pictures at this house in Miami. And she starts taking off her clothes and stuff in the shots. I'm like, well, she's getting wild. And I thought it's fun. You know, hey, she's wild. And, you know, what's not cool about naked chicks? So, you know, here she is and running around naked and doing her thing and hugging on me, and they're taking pictures and all this. And I had no idea what these pictures were going to be used for or nothing, right?
Vanilla's confusion isn't reflected in the artfully posed shots of Madonna lovin' that ended up in the book. Still wasn't happy, though.
I didn't want to be a part of her slutty package, you know, at all. I didn't approve of my pictures to be in that book. Didn't even know about it.
Next up, a giant, tattooed, cross-dressing basketball player. What did Madonna see in him?
I think it was more of a sexual thing. You know, if you look at it, she said, wow. She called me, I don't know what she called me. She called me a great specimen. She said, your body's just fucking unbelievable. You know, I'm like, okay. Whenever I had sex with her, I used to like grab her tits and just give it just the once over, you know. Yeah, massage the hell out of them.
But King of Romance Dennis discovered that with Madonna, you might be 6'6", but you do what you're told. A warning for Guy here, perhaps.
Okay, Dennis, I need to have sex now. I want sex now. All right, Madonna, I'm gonna fly from Vegas to New York. I'll be right there.
Okay, wait a minute.
Strangely, things with Dennis just didn't last. Pre-Guy, only one man had ever taken Madonna up the aisle. But Hollywood bad boy Sean Penn wasn't quite what he seemed.
Sean, liked to sort of act that he, had a rough life, and which was all bullshit, basically. I mean, he came from a very wealthy family, lived in Malibu, and,
Hang on, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, because he was very much like Sean. They both sort of played it bad. They both pretended that they grew up from the street. They both had that in common. They like to pretend. They like to play at sort of, I guess Guy's thing was the East Ender type of guy.
But what could Madge possibly want with a Cockney-type lad who was actually born in genteel Hertfordshire? How about a complete British makeover? First at the mansion. To fully appreciate the majesty of this inaccessible Wiltshire palace, we visited a posh estate agent's.
I'm a lucky chap and I sell farms and estates, and Ashcombe House is one of the best I'd ever be likely to see. It's an estate of about just over 1,000 acres, built about 200 years ago, with sensational views. What they actually paid is always relatively confidential.
Oh, that's a shame.
They paid about 10 million for it. Today, that estate would be worth double that.
With the mansion in the bag, it was time to reveal her new incarnation.
I think the most surprising thing Madonna did when she suddenly became this English lady was this extraordinary shoot with Vogue, British Vogue, where she was at their country estate, photos of her feeding the ducks, in her full riding gear, on this amazing horse of hers.
The Vogue shoot could have been straight out of Country Life magazine and took everyone by surprise.
To see her in her hunting outfit with her, her shotgun and a beer in her hand was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
The spooky 40s styling combined with a frankly bonkers vision of aristocratic interior design, gymkhana rosettes and all, freaked out more people than just Madonna's brother.
It was very, very strange, but I think when Madonna really sets her sights on something, she really gives it her all. And boy, did she when she decided to become an English lady.
She's British now. She's got an accent, She's not acting like that lousy American that we all kind of got annoyed about during the 80s. Now she's speaking properly. She's living in the country. She rides horses, and she's bringing up children. It was just so perfect.
Madonna also adopted a new accent which would only kick in towards the end of a sentence.
Seen the film? Do you like it?
I love it. Yeah, I love it. I think it's a very brave film. Yeah.
A lot of people are saying...
A bit macho.
A bit macho?
Yeah, a bit macho, yeah.
She got it wrong sometimes. All the tweed, the flat cap, the Mockney accent, hanging out down the pub, liking the pub so much that she bought it.
But tonight is a special occasion.
Madonna's heavily edited film memoir saw the country lady image morph into a cool, blimey barmaid with an heart of gold. Less Nancy Mitford, more Peggy Mitchell.
I'm going to pull a pint for you. Is it okay?
Please, Mrs. Ritchie, you get in there and pour me a pint.
George Best's blackjack, please.
It's not George Best, darling, it's Courage Best.
What ho hoi polloi? Me and the missus has come for a right tasty pint at our local boozer, don't you know, for fuck's sake.
The carefully cultivated image was mocked mercilessly by Harry Enfield, who offered up a tweedily absurd vision of Lord and Lady Madge. The country pub setting was as stereotypical as the comedy accents.
Kindly pour me a pint of your finest...
Harry Enfield felt the couple were trying too hard, as this parody sketch of their take on upper-class country cockney life appears to suggest.
Pint of gin?
Yeah, wouldn't that be lovely?
The Tweedy pair were happy, lapping up their rural bliss. Unfortunately, Guy had gotten so cosy he forgot the golden rule of filmmaking. Never work with children, animals or Madonna.
Honey, I'd love to be in your next movie.
Maybe it's time to work with the missus.
That should have been lesson number one. Like, don't make the movie together,
Well, I think where it all started going wrong for Madonna and Guy was when they decided to make a film together. And they made Swept Away, which was absolutely diabolical.
It's down there in my list of movies not to see.
Swept Away was a watery romantic comedy with Lady Madonna supplying us with another accent, but not of this solar system.
You fucked up the engine. You got us lost at sea. You made me sink the dinghy. You can't navigate. Oh, fuck it.
I think in Guy Ritchie's darkest moments, he probably sits there and looks back and thinks that Madonna ruined 4 years of his career, because making that Swept Away film killed his career dead.
$1 billion voice.
So, movies went on hold for a while. Luckily for Guy, the box you're staring at right now can only keep flashing with the aid of slick commercials like this one. At first glimpse, it seems to be an advert for Madonna, but then something strange happens with the script.
It's just a complete cunt.
Right here, darling.
Could it be that Guy's revenge for the Swept Away fiasco was to make a BMW ad that had his wife being thrown around and humiliated in front of the world's media? Probably.
I think because his career isn't where he wants it to be. I imagine he probably blames her on some level.
Although Guy's movie career had hit a stumbling block, Madge didn't care. She was the queen of pop, so naturally she released a children's book.
Okay, so do you want me to read a few pages out of the book? Yeah? The problem with the English roses was that they were all a little bit jealous of a little girl.